Good afternoon. Welcome back to Lunchroom, the show that is essentially the View for geeks. That's basically what we are here. My name is Jeff Radovan. I'm your, I'm just talking, but I'm just joined here at the table with an awesome group of guys. Leading off with my man, my boy, Justin Chung. How are you, Justin? How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. How about you guys?
We're doing all right, man. We're living the dream. We're living it. Coming up, he's just coming back out of the Wizard World Comic Con out in Chicago. Mr. James Robinson joining us. How are you,
How's
James?
it going, guys?
Yo.
Good, man. Got the man, he's my longtime roommate. I need a better joke for you, Jay, but we'll work on that. I buried the lead. He's the man in the Hawaiian shirt, the handsome one. Jason, how are you, man?
Yeah, here. Hey, what's up, y'all?
Oh, Jason, I thought it was Tom Selleck for a second.
See, flattery will get you literally everywhere. I think that's the highest compliment.
Everywhere.
Awesome. And we've got joining us all the way from Nashville, Tennessee. Nashville, did I get that right?
That's how they say it here.
He's the guy that I've known for the better part of 2 decades. Mr. Skylar Brown, how are you, man?
Doing great, man. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for joining us, man. We're rolling deep today in Lunchroom because coming up, we've also got our first ever musical guest, another guy I've known quite some time.
Yeah.
He goes by the name, say it, man.
Quincy Dunn, a.k.a. Albert Let's Pop, a.k.a. Albert.
Easy. That's for quite some time as well. This is my childhood friend, and he's going to be performing a musical number, and I'm excited to see how that's going to turn out.
Should be good, man. Should be good. So we've got a packed show. So let's get right into some top stories here. The first thing we're talking about is this Uber story that caused quite a bit of noise on.
Quite a bitch. It caused quite a bitch as well.
You guys are all.
I kind of like that a little bit better. Sorry. Go.
Quite a bit of noise on Monday about their crazy little marketing campaign, their playbook for sabotaging. Did I say Uber or Lyft? I said Lyft. Uber is sabotaging Lyft. They're doing these kind of shady tactics of like getting recruiters to book Lyft cab rides and recruit drivers. They're doing all this kind of nonsense. They're going back and forth online and all this. On Monday, my feed was, I don't know about you guys, but I had a bunch of people that are like, I'm never riding with Uber again. Never riding with Uber. So, go with Lyft. So, do you guys think that this kind of stuff should be allowed right now? That there's not a lot of regulation around these guys. So,
No, it's perfectly
what do you
legal,
think?
and it's actually not. It's not. I mean, the media kind of, made it into like I think they, it's all about clickbait. So like right now we reward journalism. The reward system is kind of messed up in that like it's about who gets the most views. That's how you get paid. So they're writing these really scandalous titles. I mean, it is kind of. I mean, you could call it shady, but it's not unusual what they're doing. I mean, I wouldn't go so far as calling it sabotage. This tactic's been used for a long, long time. I mean, Burger King used to send people into McDonald's to recruit McDonald's workers, and so it's not illegal, and it's actually good for employees to have employers compete for them.
I mean, it does sound funny. When I first read the Verge story, because the Verge one is
It's hot.
first
It's
stories that
scandalous,
the first stories that came out were very sensationalized. I don't know. I felt like these were like the business tactics of the 20s, and it's like they're really reaching back. This vintage business, everything's vintage, and they're going for the business tactics of Al Capone. I thought that was pretty. I thought that was pretty interesting. But yeah, you read further, and it's like, oh yeah, that's headhunters. You just do that.
Right, and like I mean, some of it was a little blown out of proportion. They're talking about how Lyft drivers, or how the Uber, what do they call the street team that did it? There was a code word for it. I can't remember, but they were talking about how they were canceling rides and what
Uber match.
canceling rides, but they weren't really doing that to sabotage Lyft. They were just doing that if a Lyft rider had already gotten the pitch, then the street team would cancel the ride if.
Yeah,
because they
I have to
basically weren't-
interject here. I have to interject. They were not doing that to sabotage in any way. I think we may be giving them a little bit too much
Well, first
of the
of all,
benefit
it's
of
a
the doubt.
terrible
When
tactic.
you look at the
Uber's-
numbers that they did, the total
Okay, listen.
count of that they did.
Okay, listen to the numbers for a second. Okay, so first of all, Uber is smarter than that. They canceled roughly like 5,500 rides. I think that's what they said.
Oh, do you
Yeah.
want your road?
Or no, 300 rides over a period of 2 weeks. That's what it was. I'm looking at it now. Now you think about that in the percentage of total rides. That's actually less than the number of normal people who cancel. And all of those happen, if you look at the leaked slog document, all of that can be justified by just simply one of the street teams saying, oh, this guy has already heard the pitch, I'm going to cancel the ride. Because they didn't, the one thing Uber was very adamant about was like not to pitch it more than once. You know, if a Lyft driver had already gotten the recruitment call, that's it, you're done. You don't need to do it again to him. Because that would get annoying.
Yeah, but I think the point that Sky might have had trouble with is the fact that this is blatant sabotage. This isn't.
Right.
This is definitely the intention is that they're trying to sabotage the competition. I mean, trying to boost themselves up. It's what any company trying to survive would do. But I'm really of the stance here that there's really no regulation on these guys for a reason. There's certainly guys that are going to be sitting in courtrooms trying to figure this all out.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, I mean, if they're not killing anybody, if they're not hiring hitmen,
Right.
I think for the most part it's fair game, man.
I don't know. I'd be interested to see that.
I mean, from an ethics standpoint, I think they should still. I think those guys, the street team, should have still taken the ride and just not given the pitch. But what I'm saying is,
Yeah.
the number of cancellations is so tiny that I don't really think it was a deliberate attempt to sabotage. And if it was, they're just dumb.
But it makes for damn good news, and that's
Right,
why we're
right.
reading
Yeah.
it here on.
This is why. This is why we talk about this.
Yeah, so for those of you just joining us, maybe you're just starting your lunch or you've taken that first bite into the sandwich. This is a taste of the high level of discourse you can expect. Where we basically just comb through all the major stories of the week and hash them out. We're a bunch of dudes here where we're all buddies and just have a good time at it. You can follow us on Lunchroom Show, youtube.com/Lunchroom Show, as certainly no more than a half dozen people are doing right now. But you can check us out after the fact as well there and see all of our previous episodes. This is episode number 3 of the Lunchroom that we're taping here. It is August, and they said it couldn't be done, and here we are.
And we just ignored it. We ignored them.
Exactly.
Blatantly
No, this
ignored.
is episode 3, and you know what happens when there's third installments of anything. I mean, like
Yes, you get Back to the Future 3, Mission Impossible 3, Rocky 3. And they all continue on to have more things, except for Back to the Future, except in my heart. Well, they had a cartoon, so.
But
There you
even
go.
still, everyone knows Back to the Future 3 is the weekend, right? That's the
I
weekend.
mean, like,
Let's be honest. Yes.
See?
I don't know.
Even
There's
in
some
a
great moments in
In
there.
a great trilogy, you're looking at The Dark Knight Rises. Still a pretty good
Oh.
flick. I'd rather watch that over a lot of crap that's out
Oh
there.
no, dude! I
Yeah,
would
this,
not.
this
No,
episode
let's
is
not
the
talk about
Dark Knight
Right.
Rises of the lunchroom.
Let's not. No. Just don't put that evil on me. Don't put that evil. What else is happening in the world, Jeff?
Well, the other day, Instagram dropped a brand new app. This is a separate app that they're making available in the iOS and Android store. It is called Hyperlapse, and it uses some technology. You may have seen that Microsoft came out with a similar version of this earlier this year.
Using fast forward technology.
Fast forward with some stabilization, basically.
Yep.
Okay.
Fancy.
And by Instagram, you actually mean Facebook.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Daddy Facebook, Daddy, what's his name? Zuckerberg really
Yep.
put this out there, didn't he? So we'll give them a couple minutes here. We'll show them kind of what hyperlapse looks like. This may not come too well across on the stream, but basically what you're seeing is, or what the app allows you to do is hold a camera and you're essentially recording video, and it uses a special algorithm to stabilize and kind of smoothen out that video. So whereas, if you were just fast forwarding through something, it would look kind of like a mess. This kind of makes it look smooth. You can get some really impressive looking shots with it. It's a pretty cool tool.
Yeah, it's pretty sexy. I mean, like in the old days, you fast forward something, it's all jittery and
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you guys had a chance to use this at all yet?
No, I think you're the only one who's actually posted anything from it.
Actually, yeah. I mean, I don't have it up right now. I was playing around with it when Jeff told me to, and yeah, I stood in front of my phone for like 15 minutes. I just wanted to get a hyperlapse like selfie going on.
Selfie
I
getting
tried,
strong.
dude.
It
My
always
selfie
comes
game.
back to you doing
Too
selfies.
strong.
How did
That or
that work
DC
out?
Comics.
Huh?
How did that work out?
It's my face going really fast. You know, I was like, okay.
Well, here's one I shot the other night. This is my pug Harvey, who I love very much. You see him there.
Oh, we all love Harvey.
We love
Yeah.
Harvey.
Harvey's awesome.
World's cutest dog, man.
Pretty badass. So this is us going on our last walk of the evening.
Glad we can all agree on something.
All right, here's that little video here. So it's Harvey, you know, he gets all down the hallway, he zips down the hallway, he's fast as hell, he zips around the corner, you see his butt for a second, and then I put on his lead. And there you go. It makes something that was really mundane, that I do every day, look kind of cool. So,
That's how to do it.
I'll roll with that. I think that's pretty good.
Hyperlapse, make your mundane life look kind of cool.
Dude, my second one was a drive home from the dentist, so...
That one was actually really cool, too.
That's what I'm saying, man. That's the gift. That's the gift of hyperlapse.
Yeah, it's really smart. I mean, because right now, it's the battle of eyeballs and screens going on, and you know, we're releasing this app is a chance for Facebook to keep people compelled onto all their properties. You know, keep people on Instagram.
It's a toy,
you know,
though.
as both content creators, but also as consumers. You know, so maybe. I mean, I watched your video, so that it kind of worked, and then you know, they made you make the video, so that I think it's so far kind of you know, a successful deployment.
Holy shit, you're right. What am I doing?
Yeah, you're being manipulated, and you don't even know it.
Yeah.
Mommy.
What about you, Skylar? Now, catching you posting selfies and the like, that can be a rarity. So am I going to see a hyperlapse from you anytime soon?
So what I was thinking about was on what little travel that I've done to a couple of different places, what you always want to do is try and catch the ambiance of a place. So for when I was in Brazil, for instance, I walked up to the Cristo de Redentor, you know, the huge Jesus.
I'm sorry, can you give that to us one more
I
time?
was thinking about if I had Big Jesus is his technical name.
Big J.
Big J.
If I had this, I could have recorded myself walking up the 1,000 steps or whatever to the Big Jesus and walking back down again, you know, a panoramic view, something really sexy, and sent that out to everyone. Hey, this is where I am. This is what I'm doing. It's way more awesome than what you're doing. You know, but
now is
how
the
it would
technical
eventually
term
come out a year ago would have been a jittery every step, and then you get up there and you turn around and it wobbles as you turn around and you don't get an even panoramic view. But this actually does all that for you.
Or it would have been like this crooked,
And,
out of
especially
frame
for things like
selfie
that in
shot.
action sports.
Yeah. Well, nobody wants to see a wobbly jumbo Jesus. That just doesn't look good for
I
anyone.
know. My Jesus he's sturdy. My Jesus is a sturdy Jesus.
Yeah, you know, I think I could definitely use it. I work with kids, and we're going to be working a lot with tablets. I feel like doing something with them outside on the playground, having them zip around and become the Flash for a second would be something cool.
Right.
That's something
we did a lot of flash shots when we were kids.
Oh yeah. So doing it in reverse, having to do stuff backwards, see what we can do with it. Yeah, because I mean the iPhone slow mo changed the game for like Monterey Bay Aquarium filming jellyfish. But yeah, so pushing the boundary a little bit with these kids on the playground. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. We'll try that out today. Actually, it's actually Tablet Thursday. So
It sounded like for a second that you were going to beat some little kid's ass. You're like, we're going to push the boundaries. I'm gonna make it a little uncomfortable real quick, guys. I'm sorry.
Yeah, they probably whoop me, dude. I swear, these kids are huge. I got a fifth grader like 5'7", just ready to throw elbows. I gotta tell her to stop. Like, you ever tell a kid to stop? Like, hey, stop. Like,
I'm glad
Yeah,
you jumped
it
in there,
is.
Al, because there's a cool little toy. You're our musical guest today, and we've got a cool toy from Spotify that dropped. That's called Serendipity. It's a toy that uses, and by toy I mean it's a web tool. It's something you can pull up just to kind of ease your mind, just kind of just to look at. It's pretty to look at, basically. And what it does is it takes from their database of song plays, because there are so many people on the Spotify platform, and every time two people play the same song at the same time, you get this nice little graphic. They show the song title. I would pipe in audio if I could, but essentially it plays that little tidbit of the song. I come from a startup background with a bit of this big data type of stuff, so I really mark out for this. I think this is really cool, and it's a good music discovery tool. Like at the same time you hear kind of tracks really well, you'll also get some cool stuff that you may not have heard before. Have you guys had a chance to check this out?
Yeah, I think it's super interesting. I mean, I think it's a tip of the iceberg in terms of being interesting also in terms of sociology. So like I know it's interesting from a big data standpoint because you're thinking about all these algorithms, how it's processed, but the idea, I mean, the numbers we get from this are really interesting. Like that every second there's at least
Yes.
10 pairs of people listening to the exact same song at the exact same time. So that could mean something. Once we collect all this data and aggregate it with other things that we know about people and human nature.
Oh, right.
I watched it for about maybe 10 minutes, and while I love the concept, I think it was executed a little sloppily. And what I mean by that is the genres and the songs are so different song to song that there isn't a really a red thread of listening. There's no common beat. There's no common type of music. So if they were to maybe gradually change that over time or do some sort of system of beat matching or something like that, I think it'd be a lot easier to spend an hour or 2 hours just flowing through the music. But right now,
that's not the
it's sort
point,
of
though.
disjointed.
Are you listening, Spotify? I think Skylar has just laid out your next plan right there, because that brings up a good point. This is not something that you would want to leave on like at a party as background noise. This is something,
Right.
but, it's a toy that you can look at your desk for a bit. But there may be something there where you're kind of letting the data make the playlist and match, so you have something that you could listen to continuously that allows you to discover new
Right.
tracks.
Yeah.
I dig it.
Yeah, because right now it's just real time. But Skylar,
Right.
you have a really interesting idea, though. I mean, like if they can get an algorithm to kind of beat match or genre match, and then maybe have some sort of visual, like a more attractive visualization, it could be something that people could leave on.
Definitely.
It sounds like they.
Good
This,
thought. Good
well, it's not exactly like this, but I remember that there was a website that was out for a time, like a couple years ago, called Turntable FM. I don't know if you guys ever heard of it.
No.
Yeah.
It was like
Yeah.
well, as Skylar knows, it's like a interactive chat room but for music. So you get a room set up, and then you would have a table of about 5 spots. Those spots were reserved for DJs, so people would have their own playlist for certain genres of music. And then people would go into those rooms and sit there and watch DJs play the music. It's an interesting concept, but it didn't really last long. I don't think it's still up, is it?
Yeah, I haven't
We can always look
tried to
at it.
log on since the early thousands, but I thought it was a pretty good idea.
Yeah, it was interesting to say the least.
Yeah, I think a musical discovery, at least in terms of deploying it on the internet, is actually still pretty young. I think that space has a lot of room. So if you guys have a lot of money, I think you should invest.
Speaking of a lot of money, there was a major acquisition earlier this week. Amazon has agreed to buy the game streaming site Twitch for a sum of $970 million.
Pocket change.
Pocket change these days.
Sounds good.
I would cut to a cool graphic here, but all I have are a press release and a letter, not very visually stimulating. So, guys, what do we think? Is this big? Well, I mean,
Okay,
I
to make up for
story
this,
is actually interesting.
make up for the visual
all right. I'm gonna throw to Jason. I want to hear what you have to say
about Twitch. No, I was gonna say to make up for the visual stimulation, I'm just gonna tell the story while doing this. My opinion. Well, yeah, Twitch is doing a really good job of being quiet. I think that's going to be really awesome for Twitch. I'm interested to see what's going to happen because what does that mean for Amazon having kind of like this focus group of people, and what does it mean for this focus group to have access to Amazon's like resources, you know, or like kind of being you know, kind of being under Amazon's umbrella with you know, just what their servers, what they have bigger servers, they have I don't know, they sell you shit. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see.
Quick show of hands: how many people have seen or watched Twitch, or have checked it out previously? Skylar.
I've seen a little bit of Twitch.
Okay, Sky. What kind of games are you watching on there?
All of the fighting game conferences from I forget what the
EVO.
con name
EVO.
is. EVO, yeah,
Oh,
are actually run through Twitch.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
I watched a lot of Street Fighter, SNK, and that kind of thing. Just real quick, while we're talking about Twitch, I think it's kind of alarming, and this is gonna sound like like I'm being melodramatic, but what happened to organizations like Twitch taking the risk in terms of cornering the industry? I mean, why do we always need to allow the Facebooks and the Bezos and all of these other guys to take ownership of our companies? You know, because I thought Twitch was pretty much the only show in town there.
They are. They were the. I mean, they still are. They're still the only show that streams gameplay.
Yeah, I really think the allure there, the only true explanation is that once you get that high, even, I don't know the name of the guy that runs Twitch, Emmett Shear, the CEO. I mean, even Emmett Shear at the top of his game can't turn down a $970 million offer. And the resources that comes with it. And I'll say to his credit that I like the Amazon pick, if for nothing else, that Google is very much, when I think of Google, Skylar, I think of the company you're talking about, that acquires all these little companies. You see Waze go in there, and that's like the first thing that came to mind, but there are so many other companies they've swallowed up, Motorola, and they become just part of Google. But I will say in the case of
Right.
Amazon, they have other brands like Zappos, that they own. That's really the big one that comes to mind. That
Groceries.com.
Groceries.com that tend to operate as separate entities. I'm not linked to Zappos whenever I search for shoes on Amazon, and I kind of outed myself searching for shoes on Amazon, but Amazon seems to do a pretty good job of putting their resources behind a company, but still allowing them to maintain brand identity, which we all
That's a
love
great
so
point.
much.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really all there is to say. Someone is a lot richer than I am today, and
What do you think
go.
this means,
That's
though?
your time.
I mean, Google wanted it for some reason, and Amazon wanted it even more, apparently. And so, I mean, what do you think's going on here? I mean, I have my own ideas, but I mean,
I would have to say Amazon just wants to sort of stretch out, branch out, because I mean, way back when Google bought YouTube, I mean, a lot of people started freaking out, but
and Maker.
yeah, it was just they just wanted to, branch out and find ways to improve on what they wanted to get and what they have. I mean, I think as far as buying Twitch, Amazon did the right call, but as for are they going to completely swallow it up like Google would for other companies, or let it operate on its own? It's yet to be determined.
Google
They'll
has some
never-
companies
they'll
that say,
never-
YouTube
they'll
is
never.
still branded YouTube. It's not Google. And
Yeah.
and Motorola still stayed Motorola. And,
Well, I mean,
they
that's
sold
another
it.
way. That's another way of deading the competition.
It seems that like a tendency of most of these big companies, they always promise these acquisitions that they're gonna they want everything, they want to keep everything as is. They don't want to change a thing. You guys keep doing what you're doing. All right, you love what you're doing here, and then after like 2 weeks, it's like, all right, we're firing all y'all mothers, and we're coming in with our people in better suits, and they smell better. Like that's like.
Well, I mean, yeah, that eventually happens. It's
Bitter.
a good idea, but that doesn't so far. Facebook has allowed Instagram to be autonomous, and same with Oculus. I mean, they're still their own team.
Yeah. Well, I think it's also because when a company gets that big, they just sort of tend to lose sight of what they wanted to do. Because, I mean, look at Facebook. That company was not as big a company like a couple of years back, and now they're like buying everything left and right.
Yep.
So, I mean, I think it's just they lose sight of where they came from. And they're just a hungry hippo trying to get as many marbles as they can get.
I don't think Facebook's lost sight. I mean, I don't agree with the direction. I mean, they're all about eyeballs and serving ads, and that's basically their only business model. And everything they've done has been up to that. I mean, when they bought Instagram, all they did was start adding ads to Instagram. That's exactly what they wanted to do. Oculus was just a way of, they think Oculus, I don't agree with this, but they think maybe this whole virtual reality thing may be the next step in social networking. So they bought Oculus so that more people would hang out at Facebook, and they just want to serve 3D ads to people hanging out in these virtual environments. So I don't think they've lost sight. They're doing exactly what they want to do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, well, I don't know about you guys, but I just can't get enough of these big money stories. I'm gonna go into our little superhero shorts here. We're comic book fans here on Lunchroom. At least most of us are. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. And we like to just give you some quick updates on what's going on in the comic book world. So first up, we've got Action Comics #1 selling for $3.2 million on eBay. This is the first appearance of Superman, the granddaddy of them all. Someone made a bunch of money, and that's really all there is to it. Guys, thumbs up or thumbs down? Was that a good story? Or all right, we're keeping that kind of stuff.
It kind of makes the original, like the when not that long ago that was a $100,000 comic, and you're like, man, that's a lot of money, but that's a pretty good return on investment. $100,000.
Yeah, now it's more expensive than the Declaration of Independence, so that's. I'm glad that.
Is that true? Is that true, or are you just?
No, it's not true. It's not true. I completely. You got me.
There's actually more than one Declaration of Independence. I mean, like there's several copies of it, but each time one's discovered,
which is the one that Nick Cage stole?
He stole the original. Nick Cage.
He stole the original one with the one with the codes. All right.
The codes.
Yeah.
Next one, we've got Donald Glover set to voice Spider-Man Miles Morales on a new. What is that Spider-Man show?
That's Ultimate Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Ultimate Spider-Man. It's an animated cartoon. I'm not watching it, to be honest. I'm
not watching it either because Marvel's animated game is not as strong as DC's. I mean, this is not an opinion here. It's just fact.
Yeah.
Look at the audience. Look at what's behind Jay as he says this.
Well, no, I'm gonna have to
but no, I like that Gambino was doing all this stuff. Like he actually made a guest appearance on regular show, which I'm a huge fan of as well. Yeah, dude, and it's kind of awesome that they're kind of accepting him as this personality, and I think a lot of
he has multiple his skills are as far as entertainment, he's
a dynamo. He's a dynamo.
I don't know.
Well, I think
Spider-Man. There's been a lot of talk about.
Oh no! The cartoon, not cartoon. The voice is the cartoon.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. Even if he's doing the voice, it's like, I mean, will he capture a Parker in an alternate universe?
All right, and to just want to round this out, guys. We're running a little short on time. Want to jump in with Mac real quick and get a quick review. Mac, how was Wizard World Comic-Con? What was the coolest thing you saw out there?
The coolest thing I would have to say would probably be Neil Adams. Got to meet him.
Oh my God, you are.
I will say he's not really a nice person.
No,
he's not.
He's not. He's
I would not imagine so. No.
No, he's not very nice person, but at the same time, it's fucking Neil Adams. I mean, how can you not geek out over that?
I wouldn't say he's not nice. I just think he's not as sociable as you might have expected him.
Yeah.
I don't think he's mean or anything.
Well, I mean,
he's kind of a curmudgeon, but he's not.
I guess experience is different. Well, experience is different on the person, I guess. My experience was not so good in the beginning, but either way, a lot of costumes, a lot of people dressing up in cosplay. You can go ahead and check that stuff out over on the Stuff Facebook page. We have over 300 pictures, people in costumes, so go ahead and check that out. But Wizard World Chicago, success. It was a lot of fun.
Man. Good stuff, Mac.
A lot of fun.
Good to hear. We won't have time for it today, but on a future episode, we'll have Mac review the Zoom H6. It's a cool little recorder tool that anyone interested in audio should be having a look at. Sorry, it's the Zoom H5. Check that. And just want to wrap up before we go to our musical guest here, Kwesi Young. Just want to give a shout out to someone who had at least 50% of a hand in getting this show off the ground. This coming Monday is my mother and Jason's mother's 50-something birthday, and happy birthday, Mom! Thanks for making this all possible.
Happy birthday!
And we want to say you guys can catch us on here at the lunchroom, 12 noon Pacific time every Thursday. That's just become the time that we do this show because we got the time to do it. So that's what's happening. You can check us out youtube.com/lunchroomshow. Watch us live there, or you can catch the old episodes. And we're just gonna kind of keep at it, rotate guests in and out. Skylar,
and circle us on Google Plus.
Circle Lunchroom on Google Plus, exactly. Thank you, man. Sky, what'd you think of your first time on the show here, man?
I loved it. It's great to hear so many good opinions that differ from each other. You know, everybody has their own outlook on it. It's awesome to see.
It also works since we're not in the same room, so nothing, we won't.
Yeah.
No jumping over tables, no fist fights, anything like
Right.
that.
It's all very civil. Like I said, it's like The View. It's not WWE, not yet, anyways.
Well, we should get into the same room at one point and see how badly it goes.
Yeah, we should definitely, man. We'll do a live in-person episode one day.
Awesome.
Sounds fun.
Again, that's the second thing. After Justin's mic, when we get our first sponsor, Justin gets a mic, and then we do a live show right after that. All right, so that's gonna wrap it up before we throw to my man Al. Guys, take it away. We'll cut to you. If everyone could go ahead and mute their mics, that'd be great.
Yeah. I know, right? Yeah, we got the introduction. All right. Well, time to roll. All right, man. Shout out to everybody, all the J's, Jason, James, Jeff, Justin, and my fellow black man, Skylar. Yo, man, let's do this. Pleasure to be here this lunchtime. Let's ride. Right. Yo. Hey. I swear life is like a dream, yo. I feel I gotta take my time, chemo, but at the same time grind. Primo, 3 years at JC, I took about 3 notes. Look at the graduation rate, more chicks than dicks on campus. Effing great. Now how I'm supposed to focus on what you got? Hella cakes, I ain't your boy, while I'm trying to get my focus straight. Work hard, party hard, gotta be more to this. Used to cut class, now the government's enforcing it. Teach us how to work, but they don't teach us how to run this shit. Used to let it slide, now they lying for the yo, money works for you. Wise man say, I'ma roll with you. You wanna fly campaign, shawty, if you roll with me. Sure your life is about to change, summer up. And for tonight, we finna pop shit, hold up. Please don't think I'm leading you on, no, I just want you here to be with me. I don't feel falling in love, but I can feel you killing me softly. I'm so in tune with your vibe, but I have a love I can't leave alone. That's what I said to her. Like, I can't lie to you and tell you you the one for me, but God's the one who puts my life in front of me. So in the midst of you kissing and hugging me, please guard your heart, cause take care of it, it's rough for me. Heartbreak is so easy when you're unaware, and even easier when you don't even care. Young life, young nights, young situations lead me to want to sink this whole ship, no relation. We reached the point in relationships where they full of shit, and we don't know the future. You be damned if I ruin it. Damn, shit, I thought we was intuitive. Now you done fucked up, but we ain't even cool as shit. Long as you smiles real, spirits real, booty stick, and we can laugh at all this Eminem foolishness. Long as you stop fronting and keep the truth in this. The truth's within, and we just gotta be in tune with him. Please don't think I'm leading you on. No, I just want you here to be with me. I don't feel I'm falling in love, but I can feel you killing me softly. So in tune with your vibe, but I have a love I can't leave alone. No. ain't complete. You all know I just want you here to be with me. I don't feel I'm falling in love, but I can feel you killing me softly. So in tune with your vibe, but I have a love I can't even alone. No, no, no.
Yeah. Awesome, man.
Sorry.
Excellent. Excellent stuff.
Fantastic.
Guys,
Bravo.
badass. All right, guys, that just about does it for Lunchroom. Jay, I'm just going to wrap us up.
Yeah.
Thanks, everybody, for joining us again.
Do I play off? Nod yes, so I can see.
Yes, you do, in just a second. In 3, 2,
second.
go for it. All right, thanks. We'll see you next time, everybody. Bye.